So I haven't seen any really good videos that show different types of C-Ration accessory packets together and kind of do a little comparison on them. So I thought I'd put one together real quick. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is these silver ones, which are the in-flight individual ration. These were made for bomber crews. From what I've heard, it was mainly like B-52 bomber crews during the Cold War. And this white one down here is actually also a in-flight individual ration accessory packet, and I'm not sure, but I think this one is most likely older than these. These are probably, from what I've seen, 70s or 80s, and this may even be 60s right here. So this one is already opened up, so you can take a look in here. We'll get the contents out, scoot these up to the top. And this actually, it originally all comes wrapped in this little napkin right here, so you can see that this one actually does not include cigarettes. I guess they obviously didn't want pilots smoking in a plane. So here's the contents of this one right here. Lots of sugar and lots of coffee, as you'd expect. They want everyone up there staying awake. So let me get the camera panned over to that one. There we go. And this actually also came with a can opener, which I had in a separate spot. There it is, right there. That's a speaker P38. These P38s are collectible in their own right. There's several companies and brands that made them that are much more difficult to come across. But seeing them wrapped like this, you don't normally see that often. They're normally in a big bucket at a gun show. There's your P38 right there. And let's go ahead and pack this one up, and I'll move on to give a good close-up view of that white one. So here's the white one I was talking about earlier. And this is just a paper, which is most likely it's internally foil lined. So this is probably one of my favorite accessory packets in my collection. It's just so unique, and you don't see a whole lot of these. Now moving on to the ones that everyone really loves, which are the ones that include cigarettes in them. These off here. Now, every single one of these and this yellow one right here have cigarettes in them. And the cigarette ones were produced from the 60s up until 1972, I believe, is when they discontinued them. And these are all essentially the same, with the exception of this yellow one, which I've only actually seen a couple of pictures of this one on the internet, and I've never really seen a whole lot of explanation as to why it's a different color. I have seen one person that suggested it was one of the earlier ones that they included with the C-Rations, or my best guess would just be it was a different producer that decided to use yellow paper instead of brown. But here's our other main normal accessory packets right here. And you can see even with these, there is slight color and printing variation on them, such as between these two. I've always liked these ones right here that have kind of more of that bronze tint to them. I hope that comes through on the camera. But the vast majority look like this, but I do enjoy this lovely bronze tint to that one. You see some of them have, well, here's a good example of some variation. This one includes an interdental stimulator, which is like basically a glorified toothpick, and I think that's the only one of mine that actually do that. But this was made by Cadillac. I think I have another one made by Cadillac around here somewhere. Anyway, let's take a look at the contents. I have one of these opened. I've got two of them opened. I'll show you actually. See, this one right here. Scoot these out of the way. This one right here. Let's dump her out. We have the Newports in that lovely, beautiful blue 60s era packaging. That is obviously everyone's favorite part of these accessory packets are the cigarette that were included. But you gotta love that Newport pack. Isn't that just a beautiful pack right there? And this one unfortunately had some wormholes in it. There's actually like shells of worms that were inside of this. They got in there somehow. So I took the cellophane off of this and opened it up. And when you first opened it up, it just smells lovely. Got the chiclets in this orange-yellow wrapper right there, and in your coffee, and pretty much everything else is pretty basic in this one. The other one I want to show you is actually in a frame. I framed it and put it on my wall. Some people hang art. I hang 50-year-old food. here's this one, and this, of course, comes with Lucky Strikes, and that's just a classic American brand. So that's the only neat thing about this one is Lucky Strikes. And if you can see on the bottom, it's got Lucky Strike means fine tobacco printed on the bottom of the pack. But now I thought I'd go ahead and crack open a new one just to show y'all what it looks like coming straight out of the packet here. So let's pick a good one. This one. Find a good one here. Let's go with this one. Alright, so I got my knife. That way I can preserve this without damaging the wrapper. Let's get a cut through the back. Oh, here it is. Alright, give it a smell. Ooh, that smells wonderful. And I already see the cigarettes on top. So there's your first view inside. I hope that's coming through. Marlboros. Marlboros. I don't know how to say that. It's a bit of a tongue twister. Let's go ahead and get this poured out. Oh, that's a beautiful pack, and they are not damaged at all. You know what? Huh. This packet, it says chewing gum on the wrapper, but there is no chewing gum in it. That is interesting. Look at that. It's not in there. But it includes it on the front. That is very strange. I guess some packing machine left it out. But isn't this Marlboro pack beautiful? I mean, that is perfect. That is probably the most perfect of all the packs I've ever opened out of these. All the C-Ration Accessory Packs I've ever opened. This is the most perfect. Philip Morris. This is beautiful. It's not crushed at all. A lot of times, and you can actually feel them in the pack. These get crushed inside the wrapper, and just from being in a box for 50 years, they just get smushed down over time. But this is beautiful. Anyway, I think that'll be all for this. I just wanted to put together a quick video. Forgive my stuttering and poor cinematography. So this might be interesting to a few people. All right, thank you.